20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay. Rep your city. Let me see the mic. Rep your city. Give me the mic. Rep your city. I got you. Rep your city. I'm gonna tell you not mine. Rep your city.
It's time for us to go live, so rep your city. I really would appreciate if y'all roll with me. Feeling this music cause it makes me wanna step. And if you don't want it to, then you lying to yourself. Cause every time we party, we gon' have fun. I don't know about you, but I'ma rep where I'm from.
Rep your city. Okay. Rep your city. Let me see the mic. Rep your city. Give me the mic. Rep your city.
Welcome to the RYC Live Show. How y'all doing out there? Once again, my name is Artistic, and we are back here. Welcome to a new year, 2026. What a blessing to be alive. And tonight we're doing a special tribute on behalf of Armen Rah and the family of Armen Rah. So sit back, keep it locked and loaded. It's good to see you all. Make sure you do us a favor and share this page, share this broadcast to a friend, to a family member, or to a crewmate. All right. So we're going to sit back, learn some history, take in some insight, show some gratefulness, show some love, some support, all those great things. Show and, share some great memories. If you'd like to make a comment, please do so in the comment box. Keep it clean, keep it peaceful, and keep it respectful. All right. Shout out to everyone tuning in. Your brother Artistic. We got Mr. RYC Live working the switchboard tonight. So we got the family in the building. And so without further ado, I'm going to get right on into our segment here. We have our guests in the backstage area. So we have the daughter of Armen Rah. Her name is Shaharah. And her mother here, Jackie Houston. And we also got Armen Rah's mother in the backstage area. And then we also have Maurice Mahone. So that's, we got family in the building here tonight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking forward to hearing whatever they'd like to share with us to continue to keep the legacy of our brother Armen Rah alive. And if you want to add anything to this conversation tonight, please do so in the comment area. And again, share this broadcast tonight. Let's turn it up tonight, y'all. So without further ado, let's bring in Shaharah so we can get it kicked off and get it started.
Hi.
Hey, there you go. And there's Mom's in the back. I see it chilling. So can you also give us the honors for a proper introduction of Moms?
So this is my grandmother. Thank you for having me. This is my grandmother, Brenda Starr Woods. And once again, I am the eldest daughter of the legendary, the great Armen Rah, known by so many names, but we just gonna talk about Armen Rah, Armand, as my grandmother would affectionately call him, man. We're here to celebrate his life and legacy. So first, giving honor to the Almighty Creator for letting you guys have me here and have this opportunity to speak upon my father and the work and the great person that he was, the humanitarian, the loving son, the loving brother, the loving father, everything about him, and it's all for him tonight. So thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you all as a family for taking us into consideration and trusting us to come on our platform to talk about his contributions, his life, his legacy, because that's really what it's all about. Even though sometimes we may lose the body, the spirit continues to, make things happen. And that spirit is activating right now within all of us, and contributing to helping his legacy remain alive. And that's the duty of what we do here on the RYC Live show, is to rep our city and to continue to make sure people know whoever it is that we're talking about for the topic at hand, that they never forget it. And so, I'm excited tonight. Thank you. I just want to thank you personally for taking out the time of your day to participate in this, because I think it's a great idea. I think it's a loving thing to do and a great way to continue to remember your dad.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So I'm going to direct this and try to lean all my questions mostly to you right now, because I know that we've already done 2 segments on your dad. The first one was when he was alive. He came to our studio and did an interview. And then the second one was a tribute on his behalf after his death. And so now tonight, what I'm saying, we have more family involved. So that's, I feel like we should be coming with another whole perspective of who he was as a person, as a father, as a son, as, a friend, and what have you. And so my first question is, how can you describe the type of artist your father was?
The type of artist my father was, I would say he was unmatched. My father was a visionary. It was pretty much everything he touched, he was kind of excellent at it. And what people don't know about my dad was he seemed perfect to us. Like when he produced things and he put it out, it was great to us, but he was very hard on himself. He was very hard on himself about the type of work he wanted to put out. He would always second guess a lot of things just to try to make sure it was perfect. My dad didn't have a son. I'm his oldest daughter. So I would hear a lot of his work before it came out. And then it was hard to try to tell him that I liked it and critique it with him, because my dad was one of those type of people that, like I said, he was very adamant about the type of work he did. He was very adamant about producing things that he knew that the people would want to hear. You understand what I'm saying? He was a perfectionist when it came to his work. He didn't just want to put anything out there, and he didn't want to sound like the next person. He always wanted to be great at what he did. And sometimes, he got in his own head. He didn't feel like it was good enough, but when he put it out there, everybody knew who it was. So.
Wow. Wonderful. Wonderful. It's interesting because we were kind of looking at, me and Mr. RYC Live were just kind of looking at some of his, clips that was on YouTube, listening to some of his pieces. And, it's always good to kind of reflect, when you're an artist or a poet, it's all creative, in my opinion. It's good to just reflect over the body of work that you've done over the years, and even like I said, once your body leaves this earth, the spirit continues, and the body of work is always going to permeate throughout for the people that you leave behind.
Yes.
Right. And I just think that this is a great way to continue to remember him, especially if you have recordings, you can always, that stuff never dies.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. And I think that's one thing that I am happy about, that he left that, just for even my children to, sometimes when a person leave, you can forget what they look like, forget what they sound like. I think the best thing in the world he could ever do for me, my children, my family, was to leave his voice. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? His voice will resonate forever. I'm not going to tell you a story. It took me a minute. It took me a long time for me to sit and listen to my father. Mm. It took me a long time to sit and listen to him, just because in his final days of his life, he was not able to talk to me. Mm-hmm. So in order for me to get into the mode of wanting to listen to my father again, I had to get my emotions out. And I had to get, self-reflecting. I was always taught by my father that, like you said, we don't die. Our spirit lives on. It just transforms into the ancestral plane. So I had to remember the teachings that my father taught me in order for me to get to where I am today. It was not an easy road. My dad was my everything. When you think about a girl and their father and the bond that they carried and the bond that they shared, my dad was like a superhero to me. You understand what I'm saying? There was never a place that I could go in this world that I didn't know where my father was and my father didn't know where I was. So to for him to leave his voice for him, I tell my children like, hey, your granddad is Googleable. And so they were like, oh, we can look granddad up. Well, they call him Dad Dad affectionately. They call my dad Dad Dad. Oh, Dad Dad is Googleable. We can look up Dad Dad. He's on YouTube. And literally, my daughter was just doing this last night. She was like, what's Dad Dad's name? I'm like, which name are we going by? Are we going by his real Armand McWilliams, or are we going by Armen Rah? So she was like, well, let's do Armand McWilliams first. And of course, his Facebook popped up. And then she was like, okay, what about Armen Rah? So once we put Armen Rah in, and please believe me, to this day, I am still doing research on my father. There is so much stuff that this man has out that I was like, hey, me and my grandma is just like, hey, do you remember this? It's a lot. My dad left a lot. He left a legacy, and I'm just honored to be his daughter. I'm honored to share the same space, the presence, the conversations, the talk, the intellectual ability that my father had. I am so thankful and honored that he gave me that. So
yeah, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. And so that leads to the next question. I mean, when you think about your dad, what are some ways, that you feel that he was shown to be a humanitarian?
My father was a great humanitarian. My father, he saved a lot of lives. We used to belong to this place called the Temple of Mercy Association. My father was a minister there. He was a mason there. But one thing I found great about my father, he taught me how to give back. And I shared this story a lot. It was one day we were doing feeding where we would feed the needy. And it was this one lady that was sleeping in her truck. It was her and her husband. And she was crying. It was cold. She didn't want to go back to the truck. And I came to the lady and I asked her, I said, ma'am, what's going on with you? And I was young. I didn't know, but I felt the need to want to help. And so she was crying. She let me know what was going on. My dad had his office. I went to my father. I took her by her hand. I went to my father and I told my father to talk to her. And my dad didn't push me away. He let me sit there and talk to the lady. And he explained to the lady, like, this is what we do. This is what we're here for. We're here to help. My father got her and her husband a hotel room for a week. This is the type of thing that my dad did. My dad would give the shirt off his back if he had to. He saved so many young men and young women lives that's all that I know how to do. I know how to give back. I know how to try to reach people. Try to be there, try to help, try to do the best that I can. The thing about my dad that people don't know is he was very emotional. He was very emotional, and I feel like sometimes he would get, emotional about some things if he couldn't do something for somebody. You understand what I'm saying? So him being a humanitarian and just saving people's lives. There's so many countless people that come up to me and say, do you know what your dad did for me? Do you know the things that he instilled in me? The mentorship. He was all about each one reach one, each one teach one. That's what my dad was about. And so I applaud him for, like I said, instilling that within me, because he don't know that the things that was instilled in me that I watched him do, that I'm able to teach my kids without him even knowing that I was watching him do so. So
wow.
that's what I would say about that's what I would say about my father. Man, the type of love that he gave, the type of time that he gave. You understand? To not just his family, but to other people.
What would you say that you admire most about your father?
His voice. The way he was able to walk in a room, and when he spoke, everybody paid attention. He had a voice that could fill up a room. Everybody paid attention. Everybody stopped. Everybody knew, okay, this is Armen Rah. When he touched the mic, everybody paid attention. He always taught me that when you walk in a room, sometimes you don't have to say a lot. Your presence demands the respect. You can walk in there, you can be peaceful, you can look around, but your presence will demand your respect. And that's what I would say that I admire the most about him, because he did not just teach, he lived it. He didn't just tell you something, he lived it. He was definitely one of those people that I am going to practice what I preach. He was perfectly flawed. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to sit here and make it seem like my dad was just this age. My dad was perfectly flawed. Perfectly flawed, but he was the type of man that every man should want to be.
Yeah.
He was that type.
Well, you know, it's interesting that you made sure you mentioned about being flawed, because that's the case with all of us. Yes, I mean, none of us are perfect. You know, we're born sinners. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean that we can't be good people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so, I mean, everybody has trials and tribulations. Trials and tribulations that they have to overcome. And my dad had a lot of those. But I feel like he made peace with those trials and tribulations. What once turned him from a boy into a man. So me being able to witness that and watch that gave me the highlight of what a man should be. There's difference between a young lady that has not grown up with a father and a young lady that has. It gives you a sense of center peace. You have a foundation, you know where to start, and you know what to look for. And a man, you know your wants and what you don't want. And so having a man that had a strong foundation growing up, and he had a strong foundation. It was rocky, but it was strong enough for him to survive, for him to be able to raise two girls. Okay. Two young ladies that I would say I'm perfectly flawed too, but I'm kind of solid in my decision making. Yeah. And that's because of him.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, let's do this. Let's actually go to a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to pick up right where we left off with the questions. And, you know, we obviously got more pictures to share and just kind of get more into the meat of this interview. So you're watching the RYC Live show. We will be right back.
If you want to see them, make sure they see you. Local to Global is a full-service film video production and marketing company that emphasizes on high-quality, brand-focused content to boost brand awareness through marketing, advertising, and broadcast media. Everyone has a story. Let us tell yours. We are Local to Global Production.
All right, welcome back to the RYC Live Show. We are live with Shaharah in the building and family members. And so here's another question, and I want to, after we answer this question, I want to kind of lead into more of the family to kind of get them involved as well. But, seeing how we're talking about your father and, him being such a great person in terms of the things that he did, what would you say, or can you recall that he did that taught you that always continued to resonate with you?
One thing that I could say that my dad taught me, that will always continue to resonate with me, is about transitioning. To be absent of the body is to be present with the Lord. And I think that's why I am the way I am now, is because he instilled that in me at a very early age. And so, things don't necessarily click in right away. I think I've lost people before. I've lost a mother. I've lost a great grandmother. But this loss was tremendous to me. It kind of pierced the soul a little bit, like I said, because this is my father. But it helped me to understand what life is really like. You understand? Mm-hmm. How we start off as babies and then we go through adulthood and eventually we turn back into baby form. Eventually, mm-hmm. when all of this is said and done, we return to our natural being and being with the Almighty Creator. And so that's one thing that my dad taught me, and just about being strong in my faith, standing on the principles of what God has designed for me to be on and the decisions that God will want me to be, and being true to myself. Mm-hmm. Being true to myself. So I think that's one thing that resonate with me a lot, is more than anything being true to myself and then believing in myself. I don't know if the world noticed, but I have cerebral palsy. My father taught me that. He said, Shaharah, nobody's going to have pity on you because you walk with a limp. You have to go out here and get it like everybody else. So, and that's what I've been doing since I could plant my feet on the floor. Going out here and getting it like everybody else, because that's what my daddy told me to do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And it definitely shows you definitely have a great sense of confidence. You know what I'm saying? Despite that, you know what I'm saying? My mom got struck with that later on in her life, where her face even kind of changed, mm-hmm. because it does affect you some, obviously it affects everybody differently, but mm-hmm. some people it can affect to where, you may be normal one time, and then when that hits you, like my mom, her smile was never the same after she had gotten cerebral palsy. And, mm-hmm. And so, after that, she didn't even like taking pictures too well because her smile wasn't the same. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it's really a mindset and a heart condition that you have to, if you haven't been taught it, you got to learn it so that you can continue to walk the paths of the earth in a righteous way, and hold your head up high and still be who you really are. And so we can see that with you. We can see that the apple don't fall too far from the tree, as they say.
Yeah.
So, we can definitely see the influence your dad left on you.
Yes.
So let's see. Let's hear from some of the family. Who would you like to bring out so we can talk with some of the other family members?
Okay. Wait. Okay. So let's bring my mom here. This is a shocker. Let's bring my mom up here.
Okay. Right. All right. So welcome. Who do we have here? Is this Jackie Houston?
Yes, it is.
All right. So what can you say on behalf of Armen Rah? I know it's a lot, but what's some things you'd like to share with us?
Man, where do I start? Man, ooh. Well, we basically grew up together in our teenage years, and wow, I have an older daughter, Dominique. She was like the first kid he had, when the time we was together and stuff. So I hate that she's not able to join us tonight. But yeah, me and him, we had some good times growing up together. The best thing about my children with him, Shaharah and Shakoya, and just wow, so much. It is so much.
Yeah,
So much.
yeah.
Man.
Well, when we think about, I think the DNA of a person, it's almost like, like each of us, we have a unique imprint on our fingers.
Yeah.
And, like no one fingerprint is the same for any person.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What would you say if you had to pick one thing about him that stood out about him the most that you didn't see in any other person? What would that be?
The way he talked, the things that he used to do, it was like amazing because he was young, teenager, doing it and seeing it, rapping. I mean, I done sat back with him a lot of days while he was putting them words on paper, coming up with a lot. It's one rap I remember he tried to do, and it was called "How Can I Move My Bowels?" Oh my God, I fell out. Still to this day, I say it to my oldest daughter. She like, "Mom, you still remember that?" I'm like, "Yes," because he was crazy. But
Wow.
yeah, I sat back with him a lot of days while he put his little words on his paper. And he like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And the support was there. I was there, I was listening to it. He's like, how this sound? How this sound? I'm like, boy, go ahead. But I really wasn't into it like that. But then later on, I start hearing it and I'm like, dang, okay. Yeah, but man, it's a lot. It's a lot, just memories. They all just good memories. Just good memories.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
all the way up into his last words. It was just that was just him. He was a good person. He really was.
Wow.
Like we all have our flaws, but the good outweighed the bad with him.
Yeah.
So he was just that person. Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to see him perform any of his work live?
Yes.
What was that like?
I couldn't believe it. Cause I was sitting there with my late husband, cause he had a show in Chicago, and Maine had performed on stage. And I was like, "What are you doing up there?" No, I didn't know. And I started hearing, I was like, "He a poet. He do this," cause I never really heard him live.
Right.
Now, just to see him up there, I was like, wow, and all like, dang. And so a lot of people I know him from the stage. I'm like, how y'all know him? Then they look at me, Jackie, how that's your kid's father? How we don't know you? I was like, I don't know how you don't know me. But yeah. I was in a restaurant some years back, and me and a friend, we had walked in. So have you ever been somewhere you seen something it's like on TV when a person just walk in, everything just stopped? That's
Right.
exactly how it did when me and my friend walked in. And I'm like, he like, Jackie, they looking at you. I'm like, they ain't looking at me, they looking at you. So we just went on through and went to our seat. And so I guess I was still being talked about. And when we were sitting down, the people at the table, these was his co-workers. They was like, man, you should have seen this female just walked in here. And so he was like, well, where she at? Where she at? He was in the bathroom. And everybody pointed over to where I was. He was like, man, that's my kid's mother. And they like, man, you don't know her. You don't know her. So he had to prove it to me, walked over to my table. What you doing here out of all the places in the world? You here with me? He was like, I had to come and find out who they was talking about. My coworker was talking about this beautiful woman just walked in, she this, she that. I was like, boy, go sit down somewhere and tell them to stop. But it was just crazy how I was there and he was there and everything just, I'm talking about everything stopped as soon as I walked through the door. I was like, wow. But yeah, that was a shock for him too. It was crazy, but yeah, that was my friend. That was my boy.
Nice. Yeah. That sounded like that was a great experience too.
It was embarrassing at first, but I was like, who is these people? Why they keep looking at me like this? But yeah, that was him. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll end up in some places and not knowing he was there, he'll just pop up. Baby mama, what you doing here? I'm like, oh my God. You got a tracker on me or something? Yeah, but yeah.
Now let me ask you this: did you ever hear him on the radio?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay. I missed a lot because I had left Chicago early, and I wasn't in tune with a lot because I had a lot going on, just traveling all over with my husband. So I really started hearing about him and what he was doing on my trips to Chicago. And I'm like, no, not him. Then I see him on the flyer. That's my kid's father. What he doing? So that's how I found out he was doing poetry and stuff. Open mic, all that. I was like, wow. Then I had to pat myself on the shoulder. I said, oh, I got 2 of them, 2 stars on stage. So it was a lot. To just see him up there was really nice. Yeah, nice. And every time we come to Chicago, when my husband have a show, he always came out and supported him and his wife. Always, no matter what, he always showed up. You know, and just the be in the presence of my husband and my kid's father, and it was just like they've been knowing each other all their life or something. That's how they talk, like they've been knowing each other forever. I was like, wow, that's a good thing because you don't get that a lot with a lot of people. That's how you know we're grown men and women.
Okay. Well, we have also another family member in the backstage area. Let's see if we can bring them, our brother here to the stage as well and get some of his input too. All right. So we have Maurice here, right?
That's what's up. How you doing?
All right. How you doing, man?
It's all good. It's all good. I'm
welcome
blessed.
To the RYC Live Show.
Man, it's my pleasure and an honor to be here, man. Talk about a good brother.
Yes. So what would you like to share with us?
I don't know if we got a whole lot of time like that, man. You know, first of all, I'm glad that I believe his daughter reached out to me, you know, through my cousin Kyle Smith. Thanks for reaching out. You know, I missed the all ceremony of Armen Rah. We shared a lot of stages together, to say the least. And that's like, you know, for me, he was a big part of my journey. And like I said, I don't know where you want to start. He was just an incredible being. somebody that I will always keep it hard in terms of creation and creating, and just another life that understands the universe language, and how we are able to be very, very vulnerable and men at the same time, which is a very complex combination to be able to withstand the streets. We had a lot in common growing up in the city, inner city. You can just say Chicago for that matter, and understand that there's a difficult walk, a challenging walk, and to be able to find your purpose as a black man and be able to capitalize on that purpose, understand the assignment, and then do the assignment well against all odds and belief. That is a true individual who understands the value of life. And that's something that him and I had in common.
Hmm. Wow. Wow.
So I haven't started yet. You still want to know something about him. In my opinion, he was very, very, very unique. I don't connect with a lot of poets because I love poetry, but I was not I had not in the past befriended a lot of poets because usually on their own journey. You understand? I always said first lyrically and then musically, and it becomes a melody. And so a lot of times, even as creative as we are, and it's so in our own way, we don't oftentimes connect and combine and have a great bond, and chemistry. But Armen Rah was totally different. I promise you. I haven't worked with another poet since.
Hmm.
He was in a unique way that I knew I would never find someone like that. It wasn't competitiveness. It was just about applauding two men who understand, like I said, the creator's assignment, and that's what it really comes down to. He was incredible.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I mean, I think too, like, we come from a community in Chicago. First of all, Chicago is a city of hustlers, right? We know how to navigate our way on the streets. But then when you have, as artists, when you have the inclination of and the ability to be able to tap more into the creative side of your soul, to do things that the average person can't even begin to think of, that's automatically going to set you aside and set you apart.
Right.
And
Yes. Yes. And something I want to say, because I met him when I was transition. I had lived in Lebanon for about 6 months, I believe, and him and I were combining in I think we met before I left him. We did. We met before I went to Lebanon, to Beirut, to do music there with the Lebanese, and I was there entertaining them and learning the culture at the same time. Just being able to transcend into something bigger than what I was accustomed to doing here. Him and I were really tight then, and I think, like I say, as a creator, as an artist, people may see that as a hobby or entertaining hustler, but you actually are doing exactly what created the world did, the God. You're trusting your ability and trusting the assignment, and hearing the language that God is instructing you. And there's very few people that will trust wholeheartedly that God assignment. That's what Amun Ra stood for. That's what we connected, because, like I mentioned before, I wasn't never a guy that said, "Oh, you're an artist, I'm an artist, let's connect." It had to be a vibration at some point to know you in it for the good that was created the world, versus for some type of notoriety, and both of us had kindred spirits in that aspect. We were just, his attire, the big hats, the real, just the way he dressed was another way. Him and I, we had that in common, to just be men in the midst of this misery land that try to deflate our character and undermine what God has created us to be.
mm,
And that's a familiar cycle that we're challenged with every day. God has given us an assignment. And it doesn't matter if people approve of it or not, because we're here to serve them and sometimes their ignorance. So he was one of those guys that when I say bonded with, we never said goodbye. We say, see you later. I'll talk to you in a minute. All right, Mahan. All right, Rod. Let's get back. And that's how we connected all the time, man. It was incredible to know this guy.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, I already feel the energy coming from all of you all in terms of just the connections of being with him, and the experiences that you've all had over the years with him. You can feel the energy here, right here, in just this segment right here. And so I think that's wonderful. I also feel too, like, because he also had a background in hip hop, that was another channel or avenue that helped him release what was already in him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what hip hop does. It did that for all of us, and that self-expression and tapping into your inner personality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's another color, as Kales used to say. It's another color of drawing. When we get to the end of the journey, and I'm quite certain this is something that may never be spoke on, at some point we have to figure out, we'll find out that every element of our creativity in every part of the journey is going to make sense at the end of that journey. Into our, it's going to make sense to why we were here, why we were designed, or the complex we may have had. It's really an honor to be chosen to be that voice of the universe and to be able to deliver a different type of peace. That's something that has to be definitely pointed out with this gentleman who touched me, man, really, with his words.
Yes, yes. Well, let's hear. We have, you all have been wonderful so far, and yet we still have more to discuss. It's just obviously is we could never have enough time to talk about all of the stuff that he's done as a human being. But let's hear from Brenda Starr Woods, the mother of Armen Rah. Let's just get something that she would like to share with us.
Wow. First of all, let me say that thank you so much for doing this for our family.
Yes.
This is just a way for us to let everyone know of our feelings of my son.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised y'all got Brenda Starr Woods, mother of Armen Rah, and not P.O.E.M Black Widow up there. When he did that, I was like, well, who are you talking about? But when RYC was on and he was mentioning things, it was so much coming back to me when he was saying about how he met Armen Rah under the viaduct. We could see that viaduct from our back porch.
Okay.
And man is what I called him.
Yeah.
He was always a man, even little.
Okay.
I remember riding down the street with my girlfriend, and we see him standing on the bus stop. And my girlfriend said, ain't that man? I was like, girl, pull over. And I said, where you going? He say, to the show. I say, to the show? I didn't even know he was catching buses, first of all. And he was getting on the bus to go to the show, okay?
Wow.
And when he was talking about man breakdancing, I was an instructor for the Chicago Park District, and I had a gymnastic team. And when man was about 4 or 5, he studied with some Olympic coaches.
Oh.
And when he was 7 years old, he took first place in the city in Chicago Park District gymnastics.
Wow.
Yeah. When he was talking about breakdancing, when man did that spin on his head,
right.
his mama almost fell out. I was screaming. What are you doing? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Another thing he was talking about was that lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Okay, that picture with the lightning bolt. So
Uh-huh.
let me tell you about that. I had a modeling and talent agency. And the guy that did my model's hair also did Armand's man's hair. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that picture was actually a poster in his barber shop. It was Trend Above on 79th and Halstead. His barber was Levert, but he also did my hair. He did my model's hair, you know. So, and the picture that man has on his Powder album, it's a picture of him when he was modeling for my agency.
Okay.
When he was about 7 or 8 years old.
Okay.
What wasn't mentioned, I'm surprised my granddaughter didn't mention about how he covered the 5 boys when they were.
She's talking about the Ryan Harris situation. My father and his Mason brothers were the reason why the world didn't get to see those little boys, because he pretty much protected their image by saving their faces.
And also about when they were trying to produce this wine in these bottles that look like wine, this juice.
Everfresh.
Yeah, Everfresh, and juice bottles that look like wine bottles. So who was they, producing that for? Our children. Yeah. And so they got on the case and they had to discontinue that bottle.
Yeah.
So they were very militant in what they were doing also.
Yes.
Let me see. I got so many notes. But I'm not going to take up any more of your time, but man was more than a poet. He was more than a rapper. He did theater. He did. He was in Chicago Fire, yeah. Chicago Police.
Yeah.
He was an all-around talent. An all-around talent. A blessed talent. And I was proud to be his mom. I'm still proud to be his mom.
Yes. Yes. So your granddaughter mentioned you all are a family of wearing hats. So where did that fashion style come from?
My mother.
Okay.
Yes, my mother wore her hats to church on Sunday, baby.
Yeah.
And we were a family of hats. Yes, and you see, we still keeping up the family traits. Yes, that's so cool. Yeah. That's what's up. Well, I know we have at least 2 video clips that we definitely wanted to share. And did anybody else have any comments that they wanted to bring out? Anybody else?
So with the hat thing too, my dad, his pawpaw, he had a collection of hats that he used to watch his papa put on. And so that was another thing that my daddy wanted this tradition to continue with his grandkids. He wanted to give his hats to his grandchildren so that they can wear them.
Okay, so Papa was man's grandfather. Okay. No. Yeah. It was my mother's father, so that was his father, grandfather, right?
No, that was his great grandfather.
You telling the story, lady. That's
No,
you.
you said it. Yeah, that's the lightning bolt. That was a poster at Trend Above.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh
uh,
man.
yeah.
And yeah, so my mother's father was a hat wearer, so it just passed on down through
Yeah.
the family.
We can't. We
Wow.
can't.
We can help
We
it.
can't go nowhere without wearing hats. It gotta be. It can be a baseball cap, but these hats. It's our statement. It's
That's
our
her
statement.
statement.
Yeah. That's
No,
That's
what's up.
love.
I'm
Trademark.
not limited.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
In fact, Maurice, the last time I saw you, you were commenting on the hat that I had on that day.
Yeah, I always saw that was one of that's how I recognized the hats, and that was one of Armen Rah's trademarks, and he like I said, we just connected because I had a few hats, but he had a whole lot of hats.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So I do recall going by the house one time, and it was I had everywhere, like everywhere was a brim, a different brim.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was I thought that was really classy, very classy, unique, and cool. Like I said, he was one of a kind, one of
Yeah.
a kind. And
Yeah.
the music we did, I don't know, he got some music out that we did. That Ghetto Mahogany
Oh
Yeah.
was
yeah,
on is
yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's just so much music that I'm in the studio periodically, and I'm just waiting for that creative side of how to actually condense all of our work together, because I want to do something in remembrance of my brother the way we did it.
Well, he said that the song that was dedicated to me was "If she can't use your comb, don't bring her home."
Yeah. That's the old school. That was the old
That
school.
was
But Maurice, this is
Yeah,
his daughter talking. I never got a
yes,
chance to officially meet you, sir. So I would like to first of all thank you for joining this live
my
because it's
pleasure.
very important to me.
Yes,
I am in the process of gathering a lot of things together. I will be continuing my dad's legacy. I don't want to spread everything out, but I definitely want to keep in touch with you because I have some
absolutely.
stuff that I want to put out. I continuing my father's mentorship. So
Great.
in the great near future, I will be opening up a studio very soon.
Oh,
Um,
nice,
to
nice.
continue his mentorship with, you know, mentoring people. And so it will be a great honor to me if you can bless me in my studio when I open it so we can work together.
No worries, no worries. It
I
would be
don't
an
want to
honor.
put everything out there just yet because, like I
Yeah,
said, I am strongly still doing a lot of research on my own father. It's so much stuff that has not been heard that he has sent me. My grandmother has things, so it's just it was about me getting over, of course, grieving.
yes.
No matter how strong a person is, this was still my father.
Hmm.
You guys know him as an artist, a friend, everything. At the end of the day, I lost
Yeah,
my father. So I
right.
had to come to terms with a lot of things, and it's time. It's time. So
Yeah.
Man.
that's where I'm at with it.
And I'm honored, and anytime you want to you need my services and my ability, whatever I can do, that's a given. To your mom, to the family, for that matter. He wasn't just a good artist. Let me reiterate, he was a good person, a man's man, if I may. So he had, he came from the same school where you respect those and you will get respect. And that's what I really admired. Before we even talk about the artistic, he was a real gentleman, and just a unique individual. I'm so glad that I had the honor. I know he made sure that I was here to say something about his life that touched me. You know what I mean? And that's genuine. That's real genuine. And I'm glad that you are able to stand and even in your stages of grief, to talk about your dad, because it never goes away, and be able to say, I'm going to be an extension of his legacy. So I encourage you, and like I said, whatever I can do, you have my hands on that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wonderful. So let's take a view of, we want to show these two clips that we got, and then we'll work toward concluding. And then I also want to have some concluding remarks that I would like, and I don't know if my brother, Mr. RYC Live, want to share some things as well. And then a reminder too, before we conclude the broadcast, for you all to make sure you stay on the set. Don't log off even after we conclude the segment, the broadcasting. We want to talk it up with you all in the backstage area.
Yes. I want to just jump in here real quick. Armen Rah, Insane MC Maine, the Poe Black Widow's son, my brother from across the street from the Lagoon on 79th Street. Like we have so many memories, many memories. We cracked jokes on each other. We were, I was one of his mentors. We just did a lot. We did a lot, from just hip hop and just being in the hood, just doing what we, what we would do as teenagers in the hood, break dancing. Like I said, he was the first that I actually had a chance to see somebody really spin on their head like that. Like, you see things on TV, but when you see it in person, it has a whole different effect on you. And for him to do that, I'm like, wow. I'm saying, so we used to break dance together, rap. He would spend the night over my house a few times. I would come over to the house. I would have to put some pictures of me when I was around, when I looked like I did 30-some years ago for the family to kind of remember, because I didn't look nothing like I'm looking now, But yeah, just so many great memories, it was a pleasure that we would have writing sessions. He would come over to the house. I would show him and other my little brothers, I would call them, how to write bars and stuff like that. So we kind of like we influenced each other, you know what I'm saying? Like they say, steel sharp as steel. So we had these writing sessions and these freestyle sessions, and we would play elimination, and we just that's how we became who we were, and the names, and we did so much. But what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this little clip on, and I have two clips actually. So we're gonna go ahead and play these two clips right quick, and then we'll come right back in just a moment. But you all can, stick around, don't go nowhere, because we're gonna have what we do, a backstage after party backstage. So we don't want you all to log out once we're done with the broadcast. So here we go, y'all.
I am the magnificent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chicago's #1 DJ. The magnificent one.
As I lie at the base of your pyramid, hoping to enter your holies of holies where I can live in it. Girl, I can smell the sweet incense coming through your temple's halls, and I can feel the dew of moisture dripping from your temple's walls. She asked me if I want to play in her sacred garden and enter. To get to her garden of Eden, Earth's life's center. I had to have the proper word to make this spiritual connection. So I used poetry to send me in this proper direction. And she said, got an Auburn attitude with an Inglewood state of mind. Aggression delivery, look inside, you will find a P.O.E.M understanding with a challenge design, a Jeffrey mannerism that will show itself in time. I'm from the block where Ben Wilson blood stained the streets. A block or two away from where Fluky Stokes' son Wimp blood stained Robert Motel sheets. A neighborhood or two away from where Jennifer Hudson's family saw defeat. A quarter mile or so away from where D. Wade's nephew felt real heat. Auburn, Inglewood, the burners burn flesh like wood, and crooked cops are up to no good, so soldiers embrace their hoods like Southern Christian rednecks did the KKK. So AK spray like aerosol, devouring the ozone layer of your self-esteem. That's why I gotta spit this mean. That's why I mean mug mics in the studio, I gotta be mean. In a city that won't give you your D roses unless you could dribble a ball until your ACL is torn. First time in my life to see white folks sad to see a brother from Inglewood fall. Call my neighborhood Boys Town, BOYZTOWN, 79th and Vincennes. I'm from the Boys Town where the women carry Bibles cause they son carry rifles. They know how long they gonna grow to be men and survive the summertime. Why do they love to kill in the summertime? Cause when heat rises, heat rises.
Yeah. Yeah.
We do a Mother's Day thing together.
So, in addition to this interview segment tonight, you all will be able to share this with other friends and family members. The link will be completed once we end the broadcast, and then you can share it to others that didn't get a chance to tune in, and so they can watch it, watch the playback. And then it'll be up on YouTube for you all to, whenever you feel the need to kind of just tap back.
Yeah.
You can't hear us?
Yeah, we could hear you.
Okay, so you can always click on this, in the very near future.
I can't hear him talking.
Oh, Maurice saying he can't hear you talking.
You can't hear us?
I just see the word. I can't hear you talking.
I don't know why the audio is not picking up on your end.
I hear everyone else.
Okay. Yeah. You all can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Maurice?
I can hear everyone, but who else is talking? I can see him. I can't hear nobody. I can't hear him talking.
You just can't hear him talking, right?
No, I can't hear him talk. I just heard the music and I was looking at the pictures. And then all of a sudden, it went numb, muted.
Oh,
not sure why. I'm not working nothing, so.
I can't hear what he said.
Okay, well, basically, what he was saying, you can hear me, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, he was saying that you all can always go back. This will be post up on our platform RYC Live and also on RYC Live on YouTube. So whenever you want to go back to it and play it, it'll be right there in the library with other interviews that we've had in the past. And hey, by all means, if you happen to know someone who has a story, we would like to also tell your story, Maurice. And reach out to you, have a view on your whole movement and what you have going on.
Absolutely. Well, I have a lot of pictures of Armen Rah and I doing a gang of stages, I would say, in the city. And I really would like to share those at some point, you know what I mean?
I would love to have those.
Yeah. Yeah, because his uniqueness. I just tell them how many shows we did. I think we did a Mother's Day show.
I remember coming to your shows, and they were amazing. Even all of my friends that came was like, Wow. Together, y'all were like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was that, and I haven't done nothing like this since, you know, because that doesn't come every day. You know, they don't come every in my life. I'm pretty much like him, like very selective. We were really like a brotherhood, and the short period of time he left big prints in my footprints in my life, and so that's yeah, man. I would like to share some of those photos and recordings.
Okay, great. For those who are still tuned in with us right now, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, RYC Live. If you are not friends of ours, you know, feel free to send us a friend request. We'll accept it. You can always come here to RYC Live. Our home is your home. We thank each and every one of you all for tuning in and watching the show, sharing it. Again, this is a happy occasion reflecting on our brother, fallen soldier, Armen Rah, one of the legends of Chicago hip hop as well. So much that we all can say about this brother. You know, we will be here till next week, you know.
Yes.
Telling the story. But I just wanted to come in and say my piece. I appreciate, as always, my partner, Artistic, for doing an awesome job with hosting. We thank you all, the guests. We thank you all. Thank you for reaching out. It was our pleasure to do this tribute. You all were amazing. You spoke well of them. Like I said, if we had more time, you know, we would give more time. But you can always come back and we can do it again. You know. I'm gonna give the floor back to my brother Artistic, and he's gonna close out. And don't forget, you all, stay on. Do not log off, because we're gonna do a little chit chat backstage once we end the broadcast.
Okay, so what I wanted to say in addition was that we operate the Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum here in Chicago.
I can't hear you, man. It's bothering me.
He said they operate the Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And so one of the things is that we want to make sure we do in the very near future is get more items, you know, for Armen Rah to be, you know, to be a part of the future exhibit in the museum. Okay. So, you know, if he got a hat or any kind of piece of clothing or something.
So let me relate that, necessary. So those pictures that you were talking about, Mr. Maurice, you can display those in the Hip Hop Heritage Museum that they have, as far as honoring my father, if you would like to, sir.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
I cannot hear. What's going on?
Yeah. So we're going to close it out. And like he said, just stay on. We're going to pick back up in the backstage area. But it's been great show tonight. Thank you all. You all was wonderful. Great information shared tonight. And, you know, continue to rep your city. That's our encouragement to everyone. So thanks, everyone, for watching. This is...
I see it. Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. Y'all be peaceful. We out.
That was pretty good. That was very good.